Okay, so this is my first live stream, and I've never really done one of these before, but I'm going to be working on one of my latest coaster projects, which is a B&M Invert. Um, and so far I've got the layout, and I've started the supports already, as you can see. So I'm just going to be working on those for now. And I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so I should probably work on the footers on this part. Hide all the themes that I'm not going to be using because they just kind of get in the way. CP Cisco's B&M footers. I think I need the edge pieces. Yes, that is what I need. Thank you, Frank. So, as you can see, this is kind of a bit... it's kind of a mess of supports, and I'm really trying to find where they all go. Okay, so this one goes there. Hey, cat. Not much. Just working on a roller coaster. I never done a live stream, so I thought, why not? How are you? Ah, I forgot which piece I was using. Oh no. What have I done? Was it? No, it wasn't that. No! I have... Which one was it? Was it... There's a corner edge, that was probably it. Yes, that was it. Corner edge piece. Is he at work? I need a centerpiece, but which one? We'll try the blue. Nope. Center edge. You're playing RCT3 also, Frank. Nice. I can't seem to find one that fit. Oh wait, I think I found one. Which one is this? It's the diagonal center corner piece. This is the part. One of the parts that I really hate about building roller coasters is placing all the freaking footers. Because they're not that interesting to look at. But they're a very necessary part of building a coaster. Because otherwise, your supports wouldn't stand up in real life. And to extremely annoying. It can be, but once it's finished, I think it's pretty worth it. Whoops. There we go. Do. Okay, now for this one. And if you are all wondering why I'm using my thing windowed, is also so I can see the comments, and then also because I use photo references like crazy when I'm doing support work because oh hey look, there's one of my coasters. um, but photo references are very important for me because I like to get the support work about as accurate as I can in RCT3. And so that's pretty much it. And I forgot to put it back on the chat. Hello, Park. Thank you for joining me on my first chat and live stream. I feel like I'm being very quiet and nervous sounding, so I apologize. Probably because I've never done one of these. I really don't know what to talk about, so I'm just kind of saying whatever comes to mind. That's a centerpiece. Yes, it's summer, and it's hot out, but at least the parks are open. I need to go to Worlds of Fun soon, because I haven't been since they... Well, I went the opening month, but there wasn't really a lot going on, and their new rides weren't open. So, I have to go back and check out their new rides. Another YouTuber hates you. Why? Why does he hate you? Is he just a bully? If he's a bully and really doesn't have a reason, there's not really a lot you can do about that other than like blocking him. Really, I think it's an annoying part of YouTube, but one that I know pretty well. Let's see, how many years have I been on YouTube? I don't even remember how many years I've been on YouTube at this point, because I've had this channel, but I've also had my old channel when I was first starting out, and that was when I was in high school, so... Can you send private messages on YouTube anymore? I know you used to be able to, but I haven't seen that feature. I might just be blind. I don't know. I guess you could, if you can find it. I haven't been able to find private messaging on here for a while. Ah, Which piece do I need to use here? Diagonal centipede? Yes. But, oh well. I'll just go with this. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, so my Cobra roll has been supported and the footers are now in place. And I think this is a pretty freaking good looking Cobra roll, if I do say so myself. I've never actually done realistic supports for a B&M Cobra roll. The last B&M coaster I created, I did a Immelman loop, I believe it was, or diving loop, one of the two. I'm just gonna ride through and see what it looks like, because I'm very curious. And this drop is pretty much a mirrored version of Predator, the one that I created previously. And the layout is the same up until after the 0G roll, and then instead of an Immelman, I put in a Cobra roll. Lots of leg choppers. And I'm using the I believe it's the Track 5 expansion pack for with all the extra pieces, which is how I'm getting some of these special ones. I'm really debating about the color scheme though, because I love black. Like it's like black is my color. But for these supports, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if I love the black on this, because I'm thinking PTC 401 PTC Philadelphia Toboggan Company. I mean, I can. I probably will at some point. I've been wanting to. But color scheme wise, I don't know if I like the black or if, because the coaster's name is Fireball. So, but I don't know if black or this dark orange would be better suited for the supports. I'm not really sure. I kind of like the orange, but I also like the black. But I think the orange kind of pops more. And I tend to do a lot of black supports anyway. So, I don't know. But I feel like I would have to definitely come up with a different color scheme for the trains if I used orange supports. Okay, so now that that's done, I need to start working on the other stuff. Like right here. I have too many mods. Would I rather make Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 have RMC tracks or smoother B&M coasters? Oh, honestly, I would really love RMC tracks um, in this game. But at the same time, I guess I would go with RMC track just because people are already kind of creating smoother track pieces for B&M coasters, and I feel like the community that's making them, they're probably going to just keep making smoother pieces like more and more. So, but nobody's really made any RMC track pieces. And one thing that I had an idea about, but I don't know if anyone would do it, is not necessarily even making just a CT, but just make like a track cover to go over the extended coaster pieces, and then you could just uh, adjust the LOD settings to hide the track, and then just you'd have the track cover pieces in place to look like the track. Um, and I've suggested that on some forums because I really don't know anything about modeling or 3D modeling or importing stuff like that into the game. So I tend to kind of just put my 2 cents in and then see if anybody says, "Hey, that's a good idea. We should do that." But so far, nobody's really jumped on that idea, and I understand it's probably very complicated, a lot more complicated than I make it sound. Um, but yeah, I think I would definitely want RMC track and Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Uh, would you rather make Aero Mine Train Coaster or Aero Suspended Coaster? Um, I think I'd rather make a suspended coaster. Which I technically did start one. Um, but I was using B&M track that I was using France Coasters CTR trains, and then I was using just the B&M track, and then I put the CTR on the Vekoma SLC track slash Flying Dutchman track. And I kind of thought that looked better, so I stopped making the one that I was working on to kind of just start fresh with a new track type, and then I never really got around to um, finishing it. I'm kind of notorious for starting projects and then not finishing them, or I finish them like a very, very long time after I started them initially. I don't know what it is about building coasters, but I feel like as I've gotten older, I've gotten worse about actually finishing projects or starting new ones and then postponing ones that I already started, because I get some kind of like inspiration to do something else, and then um, oh wait, that's not even touching. That's embarrassing. Yeah, I'm back. Um, the one thing that has kind of been keeping me away from YouTube a lot. I'm working in a grocery store right now, and I've been working a lot. But on top of that, I have depression, and so it's kind of been kicking me in the ass lately, and I'll want to work on stuff, but I won't have the energy to, or which is one of the reasons. Like if you watch my tutorials, you'll kind of notice my energy levels are kind of they kind of vary in each video, and so I'm I'm working on that. Um, hopefully my antidepressants will kind of help me with that. I also got a gym membership, so I'm going to the gym. Maybe not as much as I should, because I don't have time all the time, but when I do get time, I mean, I could be there right now, but I decided I would do a live stream instead, because I have hardly engaged with you guys at all recently, so... Oh, and my dogs are barking at the door. Who is here? Oh, just the mailman. Never mind. Oh, just one moment. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. Yes, I do remember helping you with the fans. Yeah, I own Planet Coaster, and it's funny, I waited for so long for it to come out. And to me, it feels, I don't know, I don't want to, like, piss a bunch of people off, but it doesn't feel like it is living up to the expectations I had when I, was waiting for it to come out. um, because, as you know, I'm kind of with roller coasters. I generally make very realistic coasters, and not to toot my own horn, but you know, I put a lot of detail into them, and I like a lot of being able to customize things. And with Planet Coaster, support work, you really can't do any support work unless you're using the art shapes that they have provided, which really aren't designed to be supports at all. I mean, you can make them supports, but they don't really connect with the track. And for me, I don't really... Either they could create an auto... They could adjust their auto support system to have um, like a customization thing. Right now, the only thing you can do really is use the art shapes, and you can make it your supports invisible, which for me, I don't know, that's just not really enough. And I'm hoping with maybe like their E3 announcements, they'll be like, "Hey, we made custom supports," but I don't know. You know, I'm not getting my hopes set too high on that, because I just I don't want to. Um, but if they can make a way to, I don't know, say make a support set like a scenery set, and then create track connectors that will snap onto the track, and then I don't know, just make a set like the one that I'm using now that you could like adjust and move around, and have footers and uh, footers and flanges, and you know, I would be fine with that even. But they haven't done anything like that. And I'm kind of surprised with the amount of detail that they put into the game. I mean, you look at the stations, you look at, um, like for example, the floorless coasters, the floorless dive coasters, just the way that they, and even the trains, for God's sakes. I mean, it's also very detailed. And then your supports are just so basic. And I don't know, that just it's kind of like, why? um, why would you put so much detail into everything else and then just not, um, go the extra mile with the sports? I don't know. I mean, their wooden supports are pretty fantastic. The only problem I have with the sports on the wooden coasters is that you can't really put track under, like, you can't have track running parallel under another bit of track without the supports disappearing, and I don't really understand that. And then say you have a track going kind of diagonally and downward or something through the wooden supports, and instead of, you know, like just going, just having the computer kind of figure out where the highest point is and then rounding it off and just putting a straight beam across the track that's going below that, it kind of does this like stair like design where it doesn't really round it off, or I mean straighten it out. And a lot of wooden coasters will either have just a straight wooden beam or they'll have like a steel beam. Um, and I really didn't mean this to turn into a Planet Coaster rant, but um, because, but yeah, I kind of feel very passionate about some of the improvements that they could make to the game. Um, but I'm kind of waiting for a little bit more uh, options to be added before I really get into it, because right now I just feel a little bit limited. Uh, Another thing that kind of irks me is there's only one set of trains per coaster type, and so like the RMC trains are themed, but there's no generic theme. There's no like kind of a vanilla generic option. So you get this like, I mean, granted the train's like freaking awesome, but if you don't want something that's glowing red and themed, you don't really have the option to not have that. Um, and for some reason they put Timberliner trains on the topper track coaster, which is a gravity group and not Rocky Mountain Construction. I don't really understand that. If they could put that on the wooden track. And the wooden track doesn't invert either, which is something that I was kind of surprised about because, I mean, yeah, if you asked anybody, like, I don't know, before Son of Beast was built, if wooden coasters, or, even after Son of Beast was torn down, do wooden coasters go upside down? And there were literally none. And somebody asked you, hey, does this wooden coaster go upside down? You'd probably look at them and be like, are you stupid? Like, of course it doesn't go upside down. But now they're doing corkscrews and all kinds of things that, I never even would have imagined they would be doing. Um, and so to not make the wooden coasters be able to invert, I think, is a bit weird. Um, and maybe they will, because, I mean, they've already got the RMC track wooden structures inverting and everything, so maybe they'll figure out a way to maybe they're just coding it still. Um, but it would be cool if they would put the um, why is my brain cramping? The gravity group trains onto the wooden track, and then put RMC trains onto the topper track, the same way that they did with the Iron Horse uh, track, and then yeah, that's basically that. And for my next project, you should try the Expedition Everest theme. How it goes backwards. That would be interesting to try. The only thing with that is that would be something that would be very edited because you can't really get a coaster to do that. I would have to do a lot of video editing, which wouldn't be hard, really. That's one thing I do kind of wish we could do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I know in No Limits 2 you can do that, but seeing as this game is over 10 years old and nobody's really made a CT that can do that, you have to do some clever video editing to be able to make a coaster go forwards, then backwards, and then forwards again. Um, and oh, this is an original coaster. I mean, it's loosely. I mean, the beginning of it is kind of the same as Raptor. With the vertical loop, the 0G roll, and then the Cobra roll. But after that, one moment. Alright, sorry. I keep getting people hollering at me for things. I don't think they realize that I'm streaming. I thought I told them, but oh well. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. This is a completely original design, but it is very inspired by a lot of B&M layouts. Like the helix right after the Cobra roll is very similar to the helix, or how Raptor has a helix after the Cobra roll. I really wish I could play some music, but YouTube and their copyright stuff, I would have to find a lineup of copyright-free music to play, and I really didn't have time to do that today. If it wasn't for the copyright witch trials of the early 2000s, my old channel would still be around. Sadly, it is not. Which is why I created my archive channel. If you guys haven't checked that out, I have some of my old projects on there. And I will probably put a link to that. I guess there will be a description box when this is over. If I guess because I've never really done a stream, and I guess you save them. I'm such a noob to this. But I don't have all my old projects. Between switching computers several times and just basically that, and I don't really know what other factors came into play, but I have lost quite a few of my old projects. why did I do YouTube? Um, well, originally, um, I was just sharing my projects, and I guess really that's kind of the same reason I'm doing it now. But it was a lot more of just uploading them for the sake of uploading them, and kind of just I wasn't really my projects weren't really that realistic. They were just kind of just random creations that I made. They weren't heavily video edited. And as my time on YouTube continued, I started improving my video editing and my skills at creating realistic looking rides increased. And now I feel like I don't know. I'm one of the few YouTubers that still does Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, and I still have so many like ideas and projects that I want to use for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I feel like a lot of people kind of feel like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 is a dead game now that Planet Coaster is out, and I don't really understand that because you can still do so much with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, but I guess um, Planet Coaster is just really the popular, the more popular game right now. And so now I'm just kind of, I don't know, I kind of want to keep the RCT3 community alive a little bit because it's been a part of my life for over 10 years. And I feel very old saying that, but um, so it's kind of important to me that the community is still alive, and I do want to do more tutorials at some point because I know tutorials for Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 are kind of a dying thing, um, and I haven't been very good at making or putting out tutorials. I've actually tried to do a couple. I was trying to do one about installing custom scenery. And of course, I downloaded some stuff that I hadn't actually used before, and then it ended up not working. Um, and I installed everything like to the T. So there wasn't really anything I could do to make it work. And so I ended up scrapping that one, and I decided I would try again another day. And I just haven't gotten around to that. I kind of want to do an updated station tutorial because I sounded so tired, I guess, in that tutorial and rather boring. And so I really want to kind of do another one that's a little bit more interesting. Maybe one that's not quite so complex. So, because I know a lot of people were complaining that I made it really, really complex, and um, I really didn't think about making it overly complex and whether or not everyone would be able to follow. It was kind of like, here's a beginner tutorial, but and then doing it on like an expert level. When I guess I didn't explain enough of what I was doing. I don't know, but I had a lot of complaints about that. I mean, a lot of people said it was really good, but at the same time, I had a lot of complaints. So I want to do kind of a simpler version that is maybe a little bit easier to follow for everyone to follow. Um, and then I don't know what other tutorials. I mean, I could do a realistic layout tutorial, but for that, I know a lot of people do like I've seen a lot of realistic layout tutorials like how to make a real just titled how to make a realistic layout, but they only do like a B&M coaster or something. And when you look at different manufacturers and different coasters based on manufacturers, manufacturers typically have a very specific way of that they design their coasters. And so I feel like I would have to do a series on how to do realistic layouts for different manufacturers, the same way I would have to do a series for how to do realistic supports, because not everybody does supports the same way, and not everybody does layouts the same way. Um, so it's kind of a little bit more complicated than, I mean, you I could do one kind of, with the first one, even if it's the first of a series. I can explain basically the main things that you want to kind of keep in mind while making a layout. But I think kind of going more into depth on what coaster companies typically kind of do, the kind of elements that they include, and what kind of order they typically put them in, would be kind of a good thing to include. Um, I mean, with B&M, like for example, this B&M invert, this kind of drop is pretty typical with the loop right afterward. But now the pre-drop that you see here, this little dip, they're not even using that anymore. They just go straight into the drop nowadays, so and they don't even always do a vertical loop right after the first drop anymore. It used to be, you had a vertical loop and maybe a 0G roll, and then something else. Um, but now you have them doing like a diving loop and then a vertical loop or something like that. So they're not all exactly. They don't all do the same thing over and over. Um, but it's kind of whereas creators in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, you can kind of take some creative liberties to make a unique ride, because companies don't always stick to their um, typical formulas for theme park rides. How is this going to work? I don't want to put this support too close to this track, because otherwise it'll just be a collision. So if I go diagonally, I don't know if that will work. I may have to go horizontally. How will that look? That would be fine. About this. And I think, wait, let me see here. Go back to my picture references. Scouring picture references at the moment, trying to kind of get an idea of what I want to do with this support. What? Why is Intamin popping up in my B&M Invert Google search? Okay, so I'm just gonna have to kind of come up with something, I think, on the fly, because I'm seeing some stuff that I can keep in mind, but at the same time, a lot of it just kind of does not look the way I want it to. So let's go back up to the horizontal, no, diagonal pieces. Let's do a quarter piece. Quarter piece, and then what else? I'm gonna go with the thicker supports. see what this 12 looks like. Oh wait, no, it needs to be a centerpiece. And then a 12. This might not, this, I don't think this is going to work. It looks kind of like shit. I think if I extend it one more quarter piece, it might work. $12 extended. That works kind of. I feel like it needs some kind of brace in here. Because it looks pretty just empty and strange. So we'll see if I can figure out a way to add a brace in here to the supports. And of course, maybe would going this way be better? I don't know. It's the great puzzle of support work. And I'm having that same, well, I mean, I guess that's okay. But I kind of want to raise it up one. And then do... and that kind of sticks out a little bit, whatever. It could be worse. I don't know, I may end up changing that. Yeah, that's one thing. The original in-game coasters did look pretty bad, but keeping in mind this game is over 10 years old, and also, it was never really meant to be realistic. It was just kind of, oh wait, I just realized. Oh, well anyway, let me finish my thought. My brain's going in two different directions. It was trying to kind of capture the feeling of the first two games that weren't exactly realistic, but at the same time kind of had more realistic trains, so I'm not really sure how it works out when you're trying to capture the same feel of the first two games, and then you kind of make it look more cartoony when you put it into 3D. I don't really know how that works, but yeah, that's what I was thinking. It doesn't look good. It looks very too close. I'm thinking maybe I need to use... oh, let's try 12. That looks a little bit better. The problem with uploading my projects to websites, it's kind of a weird problem. A long time ago, Silverette had made a video about custom scenery, and he put his style themed folder up for download. And he had a lot of sets that I didn't have, and I thought, well, if I download his folder from this link, then the files I already have should either be skipped or just rewritten, and then I will just have new files. But for some reason, this shit happened. And I'm not blaming him at all. But it's just some really weird shit where I have duplicate sets, and I don't know why. Um, and so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the downloads because I can't guarantee that they'll work because I don't know. I think there's like two different folders with the same name or similar names, and if I would almost have to give everyone like my whole style themed folder for that stuff to work. Um, anyone got laugh track recreation for RCT3? Um, the Ultimate Boy Gaming Roblox Minecraft. Um, I don't. I'm not really familiar with laugh track, so I'm not. I don't really have any ideas for you there. Sorry about that. Um, I know that I have a corkscrew here, and I'm kind of hating myself for putting it there. It's kind of sort of a zero G roll actually. Um, yep, I have it in window mode so I can see all the comments, and also so I can look at my photo references. Okay, I'm gonna get into free look because I feel like this is cutting it very, very close here. Granted, Peeps in RCT3 don't really have very long arms or legs, so I don't know if this is actually too close or not. It might be fine. um, but right now I'm working with a blank map that I created, um, so that I can just kind of build an area around it and then just put a random ejector or injector point for Peeps because using an entire map can take up a lot of data. And this here is probably about 8 megabytes or something like that. I'm not really sure how much. I don't really know how much it takes up, but I have to constantly, when I reload these, I have to use the part cleanup set to make sure that I can load it. But yeah, I don't know if I think that'll be okay. I think this will be fine. Maybe. Maybe, I don't know. I can't really scoot it over more with this piece here. Shit. But maybe, just maybe, I can do something else. Let's just try something else. And I have this weird accent thing going on that kind of is like on and off. And well, I'm gonna try something real fast before I test ride it. I'm gonna leave the train there while I support this. I want to try maybe doing supports that go horizontally instead of diagonally, and then kind of see where that goes. But maybe I already did that. I might just be. Yeah, I did that already. Okay, so I'll just throw that back together. Da, 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 da. Wait, maybe, just maybe this will be better. That, I think, may actually work. Let's see. I've got 2 trains going. But let's just restart the whole thing. Do I have a link for all the CS or CTs that I have ever used? Aiden Spy I have some links that I've used, but to list everything that I have ever downloaded would take me probably weeks to list out because I have probably almost a decade's worth of custom scenery that I have used, and it's a very long list. It would be a very long list, and there's also, I don't think I would be able to list everything actually, now that I think about it, because there's a lot of stuff that isn't even available for download anymore, where either the creators, the website host, kind of, they ran out of money to pay the domain, or they took down their downloads for whatever reason. I think this is going to work, guys. I really do. I really think right here I have solved the issue that yes, 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 I have done it. But I feel like this kind of looks like it needs some kind of brace, almost. Let's see what I can do. Yeah, and so then where is Moby Steel Jungle? It's in here. Where does that fall? That doesn't fall where I want it. That's there. So, whatever. Let's try a diagonal. What if I do this? Oh, that's what's gonna happen. I don't like that. Fuck. Shy Guy's World's still operating. It's actually, probably, I mean, there's several Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 forums that are still going, but it's the most active one still. A lot of the other Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 forums that I posted to for a while, RCT Lounge died, and then I think there were a couple others that died. But there are a few that I started posting to within the last couple of years, and they have kind of crawled to like a halt traffic-wise, so they kind of don't get many views or visitors anymore, and it's kind of sad, really, when you see these forums kind of just slowly dying. And I don't know what to do about this. maybe I can just do this. And then, which way did I have that other support that one time? Was it this way? It might have been that way. Maybe. I think that was it, yeah. How does that look? Does that look okay? I mean, I know I need to put a knuckle there. But, do you guys think that looks fine? I think it kind of looks okay. But I'm kind of hesitant about it. I don't know. Where do I need to put this? There. I mean, I guess that looks okay. Sort of. I can't think of anything else I can do there. But, oh yeah, Coaster Mike, I've known a lot of people that have been gone from playing this game that were very talented, and I'm kind of sad to see them go because, you know, they made such great stuff. And like one of my friends, we used to Skype and just kind of talk and chat while we built stuff. And I don't really have anybody to Skype with anymore and just kind of talk. And we would kind of share our ideas. And it was actually, I think his username was Kevin Coaster Tycoon back in the day. And he's a pretty cool guy, and I kind of miss Skyping with him. We still text occasionally, like I have him added on my Facebook, and I think he works at an amusement park somewhere. I think I know exactly which one, but I feel weird disclosing that for some reason. Which one? I don't want to just be like, oh yeah, he works here. You guys should. I want that grass texture. uh, Tigre? I don't know how to pronounce that, your username exactly, but yeah, the grass texture, I've had a lot of questions about that, and I want to say, I'm trying to remember which user created it, but there were a couple of threads that, I used to be able to find the download link to on, and now when I visit those threads, the download link, the link is just gone, and I don't know where to find it. And I think maybe at some point, CS, I think it's called CS Depot. It's run by Shy Guys World. They have a ton of custom scenery, and um, I think they might put it up for download eventually, but I don't know. There's like a text mod thing you can get that isn't permanent. You have to load it, and then you have to load the game. But this was just like an all-out like replacing the files basically. Like it's a permanent change that I made to the game. Thank you, Lenore Gaming. Matt 9537. Was he the one that made the grass textures? Because I don't I don't. I honestly don't remember. Flanges. I need more flanges. Vertical. Oh no, angle. Wait, that's slant. I need angle. I keep making the same mistake. I keep clicking slant instead of angle. I think I know what you mean about the textures not looking great. And quite honestly, like when you first load this, and this is the only texture you see, it does not look good. But I've played around with it for a while now, and I've learned how to kind of make the grass look more appealing than it does at the moment. Like there's you've got to kind of add stuff to it. Um, for example, doing grass. I'm not gonna linger too long on this, but like right now, this is the texture I've got. And there's like several other ones. Like there's this one, there's this one, there's that one. Um, I don't know if I showed that one or not, but because you have just this one, you can see how it repeats. And so if you kind of just take grass and click in various spots, not directly next to each other, but maybe like 2 squares over or so, you can kind of give it a little bit more variety. And if you change up the texture, that also helps with the grass. Also add like a rock texture, and it'll kind of do that. So it looks better once you kind of just do that. It takes a while to paint the terrains, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, what argument? Unbelievable that RCT3 is still a great game since 2004. Many hours are coming from the mods and add-ons, but still one of the best games. Yeah, Silver has a texture tutorial, but I think it's with the in-game textures. Um, and I want to do a tutorial with this set of textures, but I can't find the download, so I can't really do. And I'm not using text mod technically. This is a like a file replacement that I did um, with a download of that I have. And if I could just put up the download for download, I would, but that's kind of looked down upon in the Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 community, because if you don't get the permission from the person that made the set, it's kind of like stealing to put up for download. And so if I put it up for download without their permission, it wouldn't be a good situation. And um, I don't really have contact with the person that made it. I'm not really sure how to get into contact with them about it, as to why the links are down, and if it would be okay if somebody, put the links back up, or could put the links back up. I don't know. I really don't put my coasters in a pre-existing theme park ever. I kind of invent my own kind of thing for them, and then that's about. I've never really done a park recreation or anything like that, and I need um, Raptor, Cedar Point. I'm gonna look at the block break section. Really? It's one of those and then two of those? Well, that's interesting. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? Okay, so I've got beams going across there. I don't know if I want to do that or not. I mean, I might make the middle one like this, but I don't think I want the end piece like that. I can see this piece being like that, but not. Wait, I probably should have done the other side, because there's the... Well, I don't know. Well, let's see. Anyway, I need to put it back on the video. No, I'm not recreating Raptor, John Goman. I'm just using photo references for the supports because, whoops, I like to create my supports about as accurately as I can for um, with this custom scenery set, and without photo references it can be difficult to create really intricate supports, such as this cobra roll. This, I cannot tell you. Um, this wasn't... Whoa, there's a weird flange there I gotta fix. This wasn't like the most difficult thing I've ever done, but it was still kind of like, it was up there. It was still kind of like annoying to have to make. Um, where, why, what? There, yeah, delete that. Fix that. Okay. That was weird. Um, but anyway. The most themed coaster. Lenore Gaming, what kind of problems are you having with your coaster? Oh, DGF. Yeah. Okay, that's coming back to me now. It made the texture replacement. Um, what's your favorite attraction? I'd have to say that'd be Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City. It's a Rocky Mountain construction, topper track, wooden coaster, um, and it's the only wooden coaster in the world with a double barrel roll. So uh, it's just, it literally, I've been on 42 roller coasters in my life, and I'd have to say it's the best one that I've been on. But at the same time, I haven't been on any other Rocky Mountain construction coasters, so I don't know if saying, oh, it's the best one ever is super accurate, because, like I said, I haven't ridden all of them, but I think when I get to ride Mean Streak, the RMC re uh, Mean Streak, I think I'm going to that'll probably be my favorite. Oh, Wildfire? The RMC Wildfire? That's awesome, though. That's pretty awesome. If that if that's the one that you have, I've been wanting to ride that for ages, but I don't have money to travel, so uh, that's probably not gonna happen for a long time. Here we are. Center. Oh, you haven't ridden it yet. Oh. Well, I hope you get to ride it soon because it looks pretty cool. I know it was in kind of like a weird, uh, in they were in the park was in a jam because uh, they built Wildfire and they had the permit to build it, and then the city government was kind of like, oh wait, we changed our minds. We don't want this. It makes too much noise. And I was just kind of like, when I heard that, I was like, well, what the hell did you expect? It's a roller coaster. Like, but I guess they've resolved it and it's gonna open up again. And for a while people were kind of afraid that it wasn't going to reopen. Good, because that would have been just really shitty if they had closed it after building that. Because that ride is freaking amazing to look at. And you know what? I have changed my mind on this support. I'm gonna remake it. I typically do this a lot. I wish I could just make a support the way I want it the first time and not change my mind constantly. Because I'm always changing my mind about it, about all the supports I make, and I can't see my comments. Whoops, sorry. Uh, oh really? I didn't know Colossus was having problems. Let's see here. Extended, and then there. That's better. And then I need a knuckle and another knuckle, and then let's see, 8 each. I need stairs on this evac or block breaks section slash evac. It needs an emergency exit. But GPR's catwalks they're wonderfully detailed, but they are weirdly at different heights. Both sets are different heights, so I don't know what to do about that. The stairs don't really line up with this set, or at least the custom ones don't. There's like a set of pre-done catwalks, and then there's a set that you can do customized catwalks. And I will probably show you guys what I mean about that. What was I looking for? Oh, this one. 1H. Because for some reason the set I have for the B&M connectors doesn't have any inverted connectors. Oops, that's not in the right spot. And then back to Moby Steel Jungle because I got to put some flanges all over the shit. Flanges. Or I swear they're like the they're kind of like footers for me where they're horribly annoying but horribly necessary. Unless the coaster you're recreating just simply doesn't have a bunch of flanges, then you're fine. But in this case, B&Ms, let's see. I've ridden the Patriot at Worlds of Fun, which is my home park. And then I've been on Wildfire at Silver Dollar City, which is about 6 hours, maybe I don't know, maybe even 8 hours away. It's like it's quite a drive down to Branson. And then I've been on Diamondback at Kings Island, and then I've been on Raptor at Cedar Point, and I've been on Mantis at Cedar Point, which is now Rougarou. Um, I'm I'm so happy I got to ride Mantis before they converted it because there's not a lot of stand-up coasters anymore, really. I don't think they're kind of seem to be all converting them to sit-downs or floorless sit-downs because I guess people find stand-up coasters pretty uncomfortable. Personally, I've never had any issues riding stand-up coasters. A lot of people say that the like bicycle seat-looking thing that goes between your legs kind of racks you while you ride it. Um, Never ever had that issue. So, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess I I don't really mind rough roller coasters either. So, like, I know a lot of people when they ride Magnum XL200 at Cedar Point, there's a lot of cursing. Um, that happens, and I sit there and I ride it, and I'm like, I don't really mind if it's hurting. Like, unless it's unnecessarily painful. Like, if it's a brand new ride and it hurts like a son of a bitch, then I'm like, okay, you guys, you did something wrong here. But if it's like an older ride made in the 80s, or you know, I'm more forgiving because you know technology has obviously advanced quite a bit since anything from the 80s was built, and so yeah, I don't get it when people are like, oh, this ride sucks when it's it was from the 80s or the 70s. Uh, Personally, I think a lot of people are so used to like B&Ms and uh, Intamins that it's kind of like, oh, Black Mamba looks like a really cool coaster. I'd like to ride that. I have Cedar Point, not Cedar Point, Cedar Fair uh, owns my park, and we have a Chance Morgan hypercoaster called the Mamba, and I believe that opened in 1999. Um, but whenever I hear Mamba, I think of Black Mamba, and I think of the Mamba at my park. So I think of, yeah, two different coasters at the same time. Yeah, rough coasters are pretty fun. Like one of my favorite coasters is Vortex at Kings Island, and that is a rough ride. Like I'm not gonna lie, that is a rough ride, but it is wonderful. And we had one similar to Vortex. As far as it had a similar start. It had like almost an identical lift and turnaround right after the first drop, but it had interlocking loops. It was one of when they tore it down. It was one of the last ones with interlocking loops. I think actually the only one left is Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia. And but the one we had was called the Orient Express, and it was the first coaster I believe to have a batwing element. Um, but they closed that ride for reasons. It had a derailment, and then they were saying that it was too expensive to keep up, and that it was hard to get parts for those rides. But honestly, SNS still manufactures those parts. You can still get those parts from SNS, and I know Vekoma basically, flat out stole Arrow's um, designs, but Arrow kind of was a little bit naive into thinking that you can give another company your plans and that they're not gonna run with them. Um, but they were trying to make it cheaper to build coasters in Europe, and Vekoma was like, "Yeah, we'll help you," and Arrow gave them their design plans for their tracks, and then Vekoma was like, yeah, we're gonna make our own coasters using this design. Yeah, bye. But they did help. They did help Arrow with some stuff because Arrow kind of went into bankruptcy more than once, and they kind of had to come in and finish some of their rides. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with Vekoma because they kind of really like jerked Arrow around, and Arrow's probably one of my favorite manufacturers because without Arrow, we wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that we have today, the nice things that we have. A lot of people complain about Arrow, and I'm like, why? Why are you complaining? We wouldn't have the corkscrew without Arrow. We wouldn't have half the elements we use today. And I'm kind of ranting at this point. I've never been on a dive machine coaster like Baron 1898 or Oblivion, and I want to so badly. Um, they built Valraven and Cedar Point since I've been there, and holy crap, I want to ride that so bad. It's just a matter of getting the money to drive all the way to Ohio and hotel fees and stuff. I mean, I could easily upgrade my gold pass to Worlds of Fun to a platinum, but then the travel expense would be that would be the kicker, and then food, on top of that. Um, and right now, all my finances are going to a car that I need to buy because, you know, cars. My car is kind of dying. First living coaster. Nessie. Um, are you talking about the Loch Ness Monster, Lenore? Cause it was a Schwarzkopf Nessie. I'm trying to think where that is. I think I know which coaster you're talking about. I think I remember it a little bit vaguely, which is kind of weird for me because I usually remember coasters pretty well, but that one's kind of eluding me in my memory bank. I'll have to look it up later. Six Flags St. Louis. Ugh. Let's see. I haven't actually been there, so I'm gonna have to think for a second. I know they have Batman the Ride, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, Ninja, which is a Vekoma, um, and then they have the boss, which I think is maybe a GCI. No, not GC. A CCI, I think, possibly. I'm. I could be completely wrong about that. It could be a GCI for all I know. Um, I really think it's a CCI though. But and then what else do they have? Oh, they got a boomerang. They got a boomerang, which I thought was really funny when I saw the ads because they advertised it like this like really super cool new thing, and then I'm like, we've got a boomerang at Worlds of Fun, a couple 100 miles away in the same state. And theirs wasn't even new. Theirs was like I think from another park, and it's already had like one derailment. So I'm like, I don't know. I just thought it was a bit ironic that they got this spent the money to get this used ride, and then it's already having problems. My favorite manufacturer right now would be RMC. Um, as far as current operating ride manufacturers, my favorite defunct would be Arrow, simply because they were like the pioneers of looping and steel coasters. Like we wouldn't have the tubular steel coaster if it wasn't for them. I mean, we may have somebody else may have come up with the idea eventually, but without them, like historically, we just wouldn't have them, um, or we wouldn't have, the stuff that they created. And okay, so I need stairs on this, and I want I have a problem here because the stairs, if I recall, don't really line up with yeah, they don't line up because they're like the height difference is weird on this set because it comes with two parts, and then you've got because it looks like it lines up, but it's really I can't get it. There we go. You can kind of see there. It's like not even like 1 meter above. It's just like slightly offset higher than the actual platform. And GPR like or GRP I mean, he's made like two fantastic catwalk sets, but they don't line up together, and so you can't really put an evac section on this. Um, it's a bit frustrating, if I do say so. See you, Lenore. Lenore, thanks for joining my first stream. Oh, RMC and Gerstlauer and Mac. Yeah, Mac's pretty cool. Gerstlauer's pretty cool too. despite the fact they had a couple issues the past couple of years with some of their rides. This whole Smiler thing, and then there was another. Oh, there's the Texas Giant incident. We all know the Smiler had two trains collide, and one woman lost her legs, and then Gerstlauer manufactured the trains for the new Texas Giant, and they it kind of somebody flew out, and it's debatable whether it was really Gerstlauer's fault or not, because she was kind of a very heavy set individual, and the lap bar it clicked once, and they said that if it clicked once, she was fine. She'd be fine, but whether that's actually the case or not, um, remains to be seen because she did in fact fly out and fall to her death. Um, RMC closed all their rides and added seatbelts and inspected all of their restraints after that. Even the Gerstlauer, especially the Gerstlauer manufactured ones. I think that was one of the. I know RMC wanted to create their own trains, but I think that really pushed them even like faster to create their own trains. um, because having another company manufacture the trains for your ride and then somebody dies because of that train, that's not really good uh, for your company. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Uh, I can imagine people wouldn't want to go to the park after an incident like that occurred. Um, I would think that it would be pretty difficult to want to ride anything. Top offset. Does this line up? Does this line up with... Where does this... eh. It doesn't exactly line up, but... Um, let's try to figure this out. It's not gonna work that way. I wish France Coaster had made a diagonal set. That would have been great. Yet GRP, his catwalks are fine. They're great, but for me, like, there's this, and then you use the evacuation set, but the pieces are higher. They're just offset, so I can't line them up. Even on flat terrain, it doesn't work. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put stairs on this. I may be able to, but just kind of like mask them. It's going to look weird. I think it's just going to look weird, and there's really no getting around it. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to make it look weird. I kind of want the stairs on that side. wish this was in English. It's in French. I cannot read French or pronounce it. Okay, yeah, no, that's not gonna line up at all. At all. So... where's the quarter piece? I need like a quarter piece there. Oh, there we go. And then I'll just put that as a marker so I know where that starts. Delete this piece. And then do that. And then we'll just keep doing that downward. It's the little details that are sometimes the most important. I wish I could shake this stupid, horrible, like, accent thing that I'm doing. Like, I literally just machine gunned the whole last season of Salem. And so now I'm kind of going in and out of a really bad British accent and an American accent. And I know it's probably really annoying. Gerstlauer. Hypercoaster. Oh. Yeah. I forgot they're making hypercoasters for a second. I'm really excited for the Mac hypercoaster that's gonna be coming out. I know it's in Australia, but still, like, nowhere near me, but it's still kind of like really cool. Okay, how? Okay, there's one railing. One railing. If, whatever. It may not line up perfectly, but whatever. I don't care at this point. And then I need the corner pieces. I hate this part. Trying to figure out where the corner pieces go. This is all trial and error. Oh wow, that actually, I did not expect that to line up the very first time. Of course, it's not going to line up with anything else now. No. Nope. No such luck. Okay. It'll line up with that though. So there's something. And it'll line up with these. Yay! Found the right piece. Now I have to find the one that will line up with that corner. Not having much luck. I guess it was that first one. I'm not even gonna bother with the interior corners because it's. I think I'm gonna put beams there anyway. So where does it? Yeah. No. Okay, so I need I think I'm just gonna use Big Burger's timbers for this. And just go with black. Or not. Okay, so already making changes to this. I deleted, or no, I didn't even put a railing there. Wow, how did I miss that? Oh well. Okay, and then I'll just put some braces there. Oh, well, never put horizontal pieces there. Horizontal, horizontal, angled, horizontal, angled. And I need some at the bottom there. And then that one railing I somehow forgot. Where'd it go? There it is, I see it. So I need GP or GRP. I keep saying GPR. It's GRP. GRP. Where did it go? I think, yeah, that's the piece. Okay, so I've got my evac thingy built. And it's higher than I would like. Okay, I need to see this in free look mode because I thought it really wouldn't matter, but what do you guys think? Does that look okay? I mean, I know there's really no way I can connect these two things at all. Um, I wish. If I had done a horizontal block break section, this would not be an issue, I don't think, because I could have just used all of the first set and not the second set, but because I did a diagonal set, um, I've run into this dilemma. So, I don't know if that looks okay or not. I really feel like it looks weird. Um, so, yeah. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do footers on this section. Are there really no diagonal catwalk connection pieces? Not with the GRP set, which is very strange. He created pieces that had gaps in these railings so that you could put the evacuation set on, but it's, not lining. It doesn't line up. And then there's no diagonal pieces either, so I'm just really frustrated over this. I'm not sure what to do. It might look okay, but at the same time, I'm just, like, I see it and it just bugs the hell out of me. Well, you see, I can do that, but it doesn't really line up, even, like, horizontally. Let's see, where is it? It's, this one. It's, like, clear over there in the center. I would have to probably rebuild this whole, I don't know, let's see. I mean, this piece would kind of sort of line up, but it would be like right in the middle of that rail. And then there would be a big gap. So I just think I may have had an idea. It might not be a great idea though, but we'll see. 1 second. There's a set I completely forgot that I have. Fisherman's E-stop. And it may work, it may not work. I'm just experimenting right now. That's probably not going to be my final thing, but yeah, no. I can already see this. That's not gonna work. so many sets. Kind of gives me a little bit of a headache going through all of them. I hate myself for this, but I think what I may have to do is just restart on this part because it's not working. Ugh. This happens a lot when I'm building things. I'll find that something doesn't work and then I have to restart, and it just makes me really upset. But I'm just gonna go with the flow. You know, I was kind of a little apprehensive going into this. Um, I don't, have people watch me when I build stuff a lot. Um, but it's kind of nice actually having you guys here. It's having nice company. I was always the kind of person that, like, in school, if somebody was watching me draw, I didn't really enjoy it, but with this is actually pretty nice. Okay, I'm gonna try. What I'm gonna do, I think, is even though it won't line up, um, is I'm going to... I think I'm just gonna build it in a way that it looks like it's gonna, like, from a distance it'll look connected, but uh, won't really... It's not gonna line up either way, like, at all. Like, nothing is going to, so... Actually, you know what? I'm not even gonna do that. I'm gonna do let's just do these. Let's just go with this. Because this would actually take far less time to build. I am being, I guess you could say, lazy with this. But I think raptors were spiral, so let's see. Yeah, raptors are spiral, so that's fine. This is fine. Um, Hello, just a normal Doge. Let's see here. Oh, I think I may have. I think there might be a actual, like, right now I'm playing with the supports. Oh no, it's actually just um, in the ground apparently. I haven't deleted the actual supports yet, so I've just made them invisible. Sometimes it can make things hard to delete if they're overlapping or something, but in this case, that was not what was happening. Senpai has noticed you. I've always wanted to say that. I have noticed you, Kohai. And I am back to this. I messed up. I messed up. Ah. Okay, I'll This is a simple thing to do, so... It just needed to be scooted over is all. I can delete that. And then I need the court piece. Little Matthew 1657, I am building a B&M inverted roller coaster, and at the moment I'm working on the block brake section. And I'm working on the evac section of the block brake because every coaster needs to be able to be evacuated, and I'm having some difficulties with this set. For everybody that's just now joining me, I'm having issues with this. But I think we can make this work. I think this will be fine. Like, I know it's not technically lined up or even close to this, but from a distance, it does not look that bad. So I think that's really all that. I think that really that's all that matters. So that looks okay. Yeah, they're always a pain in the butt unless you're even when you're creating custom ones, they can be kind of a pain in the butt. I really went all custom with my last B&M invert. It was Predator, not like the Alien, but like it was just kind of a jungle like themed roller coaster. And I did kind of Raptor inspired supports on all of that. And yeah, I didn't use any of these like pre-made ones. I did like everything custom. So now that I'm done with this, I, I am going to do more supports because I am officially just. I mean, it still needs footers. All that needs footers, but I'm past wanting to deal with the block break section. So a lot of Mobius stuff. Quarter piece. Let's see where this lines up. Not quite. Can I find a piece that is... That's the centerpiece, so... I think that'll work. Maybe. Wait, what did I do? Where did I put it? Oh, it's a centerpiece, duh. I need a diagonal quarter piece. Been staring at the screen for far too long. It's cool though. We're good. And then I need the thick ones. And then I need the extended. Yeah, that's it. There we go. They weren't fully custom modeled pieces, but what I did was let me, let's see. Just go to a new tab and click, no, YouTube, nope, no, I don't want that. I want YouTube. Um, I'll just find the video. Just kind of, it was this one. And what I mean by like fully like customized was I used mostly just the evac set to create all of my catwalks instead of like because there's two sets by um, GRP, and it's B&M catwalk, the evacuation, and then B&M catwalks. And instead of just using the catwalks with all of these pre-made pieces, I used all of the evacuation pieces to kind of create all of these catwalks, like the ones above, the ones below, and all the ones on the sides. Like here, and here, and then when you get to the brakes, you'll notice there's like these stairs here that are very similar to what you see on Raptor at Cedar Point, and yeah, that's pretty much the extent of what of it. I wish I knew how to model custom scenery because I would make tons of sets. I really would, but I am not really the greatest at any of that, so I kind of have to rely on other people's stuff. Yeah, I'm really. That was one. It was kind of unfortunate timing because Planet Coaster came out so shortly after he released these. And then there's such a great set. I wish more people were still playing the RCT3 game, and we're still in the RCT3 community, but it's just been kind of a roller coaster ride. Literally, like, it's gone up and down, and I I'm trying to put my thoughts together, and it's kind of I'm not really that eloquent, and I don't I'm not great at expressing my thoughts right on right on the spot. But it definitely it's a game that the community really grew quite big, and now it's not nearly so. Uh, let's go with a half piece, and then an extended piece. That's what I want. There we go. Wait, that's the wrong knuckle. That is too big. That is a full sphere. I do not need a full sphere. I need this little tiny thing. Custom supports, they are kind of annoying, and holy crap, I just realized how far off I made this. Wow. How did I manage this? Just how? Dear God. I just messed around with that for probably like 5 minutes and didn't even... Um, my favorite part of custom scenery... You know, actually it's probably support work, even though it's very time consuming. I really enjoy studying supports and how to make them look realistic. And creating a layout that's really challenging to support also can be a lot of fun. I made one back in my early days, and it was called the knot, and literally, it was like a knot. It was for a competition. I can't remember how many squares like it was, but um, I remember it being a real challenge. Yeah, that's one of the things, perspective, uh, one of the reasons I never got into custom supporting with Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, because you're always in that um, overview mode and you can't really get in and look at anything. And I would always I would try, and then when I would rotate the camera, it would just be all kinds of jacked up. So I just don't even attempt that anymore. I think, yeah, that's low enough, I think. I may smooth out this terrain just a wee bit. Good grief, it's already 5:09. Where has my day gone? Yeah, but support work's probably my favorite. Theming can get pretty fun. Too, but I feel like I'm probably best at just doing support work. I really like. I wouldn't mind doing a collab with someone far better at theming than I, but um, like if I ever get into Planet Coaster, honestly, like it would be honestly, I would really love to do like a collab with Silverette, but I don't really know him, so I feel like, and I feel like just like asking him, like I don't know, would would be weird because we don't talk. I know he's subscribed. I don't know if if he's watching or if he will be watching this after it's uploaded. But Yeah, if you are watching Silver, that'd be pretty cool if you wanted to do a collab sometime. I'm down. That would be pretty swell. Okay, so we are about halfway through the ride. I really love, yeah, he's a really cool guy. I wish I could theme as well as him, um, because his eye for detail is so much greater than mine. Because, and I focus in on supports, um, and just the coaster aspect of rides, and then theming has been something that I've kind of forced myself to learn how to do, because back when I was first starting my YouTube channel, that's really all I did was make generic themed rides. I didn't really do anything themed, and I quickly started learning that people really preferred themed rides. So, and then when I did start theming my rides, kind of out of necessity, um, I started to like my rides better also. So it was kind of, it was a win-win thing that I needed. His buildings are so detailed. Like, I feel like for me, I'm like a support, um, a roller. I am. I don't know how to word this. Enthusiast, I guess you could say. I know I can look at supports on a ride, in a game or something, and be like, yeah, that doesn't look accurate at all. Um, just based on like what even just the manufacturer, knowing what the manufacturer is. And then with him, he's just got like uh this such vast knowledge about architecture, and I totally don't have that. I don't have that eye or that like kind of interest. I mean, I'm not to say that I'm not interested in architecture at all. I think it's really cool. Um, I actually used to want to be an architect when I was a kid, but what kind of I wanted to be a roller coaster designer and an architect, but um, I think I wanted to be a roller coaster designer far more than an architect, just a plain architect. Um, and I've never really been the kind of person that can look at a style of building and be like, oh yeah, that's this kind of architecture. Like I've never had that kind of knowledge, and I think that's really cool knowledge to have. About the only thing I can look at and be like, oh yeah, that's Gothic and that's neo-Gothic architecture, and that's like colonial, and then after that, I pretty much don't know what things are called. I just kind of am like, yeah, I've seen this around. I don't know what this is called though. that's that's the extent of my knowledge of architecture. Um, is that centered? I think it's sort of centered, maybe. Or will that make that? That's good, right there. Leave it. Don't delete it. I almost deleted it, thinking, that's not centered. Why am I using such thick supports here? I don't think I need to, actually. Honestly. I think by now we would have switched over to the thinner supports. do the 3H. Oh yeah, No Limits 2 is a game that I would really like to learn how to play. I have the first one, and I tried the demo, but it was so different that it kind of discouraged me from even buying the newer one because I was just like, I have to relearn how to play this whole thing. But I probably will eventually, um, because there's so many things you can do with No Limits, and it just looks so beautiful. Like it's the best rendered roller coaster sim out there. The only thing I don't like is there's no like people and there's no I don't know. I know with the first game you had to know how to like use SketchUp and stuff to put in custom scenery. And I don't know how that works with 2, if that's the same, if it's the same thing or not. But I've never been good at that. So stations, yeah, I personally like. I actually don't really like building stations, because it's like I'm so close to being done with a ride, and then I have to build the station, and I'm just kind of like, and there's several ways I go about building them, and then I have to kind of decide, okay, which way am I gonna build it this time, and it does kind of become annoying. Oh, we get to do the 0G roll now. Alpengeist. I need Alpengeist. How do I support a medium-sized 0G roll? Apparently, just like that with 2 supports towards the top. Cool. Then that's how I'll do it. And back to the comments. I've wanted to ride Alpengeist for so long. Literally so long, and I've just wanted to go to like Busch Gardens in general forever, and I'm brokenhearted that they got rid of Big Bad Wolf. I really am. Um, I grew up watching this VHS tape called America's Greatest Coaster Thrills, and a lot of the coasters on that video um, not all of them are gone, but like there's quite a few that are gone now, um, and it's really unfortunate. Like Steel Phantom is gone, Big Bad Wolf is gone, Drachenfire is gone, Mean Streak. The only ones I got to ride that on that VHS tape were Magnum, Mean Streak, The Beast. What else? Raptor. And I can't think of any others that might have been on that video off the top of my head, but I wanted to ride Big Bad Wolf like so bad. And yeah, that didn't happen. Let's see. I think I'm gonna need maybe this set here to do these connectors because they're kind of weird. That goes through the track too much. Where can I put... That's better, I think. Surprising. I'm kind of amazed at just the amount of the coasters that are popping up in China lately. Like their coaster lineup in China is becoming pretty freaking awesome if you ask me. So um, in second. Okay. So anyway, um, I had someone else knock on my door. I need like an on the air uh sign to just put in my room or put on my door. Be like, do not disturb. That's what I need. I'll probably make one. I have so many things I want to make. Um, like RL. I still want to go to Six Flags Magic Mountain. Um, and ride some of their coasters because they have some of the best roller coasters. Yeah, they have more than Cedar Point now, and they have for quite a while. Yeah, Togo jet coasters, they're kind of um, pretty crap, but I still can appreciate some of them for uh, like there's one loop screw with like really interesting supports, and and then I'm trying to remember which company made Moonsault Scramble, and that ride, if they had not made it over 200 feet tall and made it pull over 6G, like 6 point some G's, like it could have been, you know, a much better coaster. The supports were really amazing and cool looking on that, and but it just ultimately the design itself, the ridership was way too low. Um, I would say I only know American coasters more simply because I live in America, but um, I know I kind of wish like another coaster company would like make a newer version with a better uh, lift. Um, I kind of thought the lift on Moonsault Scramble looked really kind of freaking weird, but I kind of felt like everything else looked really awesome. Especially, I like the interlocking kind of pretzel uh, inversion. But that thing pulls more G's than a Vekoma boomerang, or it did, past tense, pulled more than a Vekoma boomerang, and they still sell the model? Really? Well, if I was to buy it, I would say I'd make it a custom design, but I'd say throw that part on, because I don't want a coaster that's going to pull over 6 Gs, because that's worse than a Vekoma boomerang. Kind of have a I kind of have this weird hate relationship with Vekoma boomerangs. I don't. Uh, it's like I don't hate them entirely, as far as like I can find them enjoy it, like sort of fun, but they're not fun enough for me um, to not say that they are not a piece of crap. Because Vekoma boomerangs, like, they just hurt, and I mean, like I feel like Vekoma could redesign their boomerangs. Yeah, once you've ridden a boomerang, you've pretty much ridden them all. I mean, I would kind of like to try them with the newer trains with like the vest restraints, but I mean, it's still not going to cancel out the G's and the amount of time that it like is throwing you around your neck and your head around. Um, so they're pretty painful. I almost got to ride one of their inverted ones, but it was closed. I've never been on an SLC. Um, I almost got the chance to when I was in Michigan, because they have one at Michigan Adventure, I think. But nobody else wanted to go, and I wasn't the designated driver on that trip, so I didn't go. Yeah, I don't think any park near me has an SLC. The only Vekoma coasters near me are like two boomerangs and uh, Ninja, which was kind of half Arrow, half Vekoma, but it's listed as a Vekoma. I'd have to say it's the CS. My favorite CS website is gonna be the CS Depot, um, because they have the most extensive collection of stuff. Um, like they've been uploading stuff that has been gone for a while. Um, like stuff from Vaden. Like Vaden was like the first, I think, real site for mods, and a lot of my super old mods came from there. And when that folded, um, people had to upload their stuff to CS Depot. Do they have them all now? That's pretty awesome. I wasn't sure if they had them all. I knew that they had a lot of them. Um, but I didn't know if they did like for sure had all of the Vaden sets. Oh, that looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna do a test run just because I want to see this. Oops, wrong button. Close test. So here I am. I'm using a combination of the GRP catwalk, and then this is France Coasters catwalk set, and it's a pretty decent set. It's a bit light colored, in my opinion. It's a bit too light. If it could be a little bit darker and a little less shiny, that'd be pretty cool. But it's pretty nice. It's got that drop down section for the inverted coasters, and it's got a lot of it's got like flying coasters, like it's got a lot of different variations of catwalks. I still need to put a brake cover on that trim brake at the bottom of that Cobra roll. Ah, so many leg choppers. But I guess that's what makes B&M coasters fun, right? Is the leg choppers, or at least part of the what makes them fun. Was that? So it looks pretty good so far, I think. Oh, geez, I need to delete that that. Okay. um, this whole section here is actually I copied and pasted it basically out of my one of my coasters, and how do you make brakes invisible? You can actually do that? Heck yeah, I want to know how to do that. That's awesome. Edit the OVL file. Is there like a tutorial anywhere for that? Because I wouldn't know. I'd probably jack something up if I did it on my own. A hex editor. Oh, okay. I don't have I don't have one of those. Well, I'm gonna put footers on all this, and then I think I'm gonna probably start wrapping this stream up after that, because it's going on 2 hours, and it's almost a 3 hour long stream. So, but there's an old tutorial, but it has no pictures anymore. Well, then that oh, that sucks. Um, I mean, I've never had that issue with Moby's floors and walls. The no SVD for SID error, um, it either means you've installed your scenery incorrectly, or there's, I don't know, maybe like a conflicting mod that doesn't. I don't really actually know all of the reasonings for that error. I feel like I should know that because I've been playing this game for so long, but there's just some scenery sets that I have never been able to get to work. And And I actually have some still installed, and I have to be very careful when I'm clicking stuff because I don't remember what the file name was or the folder name for it was. So then, like, I can't get rid of it, and some of the stuff you can't download anymore. So then it's like, oh, well, I can't re-download it and find out what the folder name was. And yeah, so I I generally just kind of avoid some sets. Um, what are the folders called when you unzip them? Hmm. Because um, the walls and floors should be just I think regular scenery pieces. So oh, they go in themed. The only thing that should go in custom would be like a custom flat ride or something, or one of the Belgabor's invisible doodads. I remember there was something that went in custom also, but most, pretty much all scenery objects are going to go in style themed. But um, you want to make sure that you're putting the right folder in themed because sometimes um, there will be a folder that's called something and you'll open it up and then there'll be another folder um, that's actually the folder you want. But mostly nowadays, it was kind of a problem. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking really loud, and my headphones are not noise canceling, and I'm like having really a hard time forming my words now. Um, so back in the day, people wouldn't name the folders necessarily like custom or style, and they wouldn't put the custom scenery folder or custom flat ride, file into a folder that was just labeled um, after the file that it was supposed to go into, or the folder that it was supposed to go into. And so they would have a README typically, but sometimes they didn't. And so that's where it got kind of complicated if you didn't know which folder something needed to go into. I think Moby's probably has like custom or it's probably going to be style. If there's not another folder and there aren't OVLs like if you open the folder and there's OVLs and maybe some other folders in there, uh, that's the folder. The folder that's containing all that, you want that in style themed. You don't. If it's just a folder that has one folder and no OVLs in that folder, then it's not the right one. I know I'm probably making it sound a lot more confusing. I think yeah, they should be themed. I said I was gonna do. What was I gonna do? Oh, I need to do flanges first. I never did those. Uh, oh, normal Doge. I don't. I'm really bad with park names, honestly. Like, um, I made a park back when my old channel got deleted, and I started making parks on RCT Lounge. I literally just used my middle name um, in the park title. Like, I literally couldn't come up with anything else because I'm really uncreative when it comes to that. It's called Sky Amusement Park, and it was one of my best creations, and I'm really sad that that's gone. I didn't post it to Shy Guy's World at all, so the whole story is just like lost to time. Um, I found some screenshots from it, but it's pretty much gone. And since I've transferred computers, some of the files won't load, and then some of them won't load because they say, "Oh, you're missing pieces," which should be impossible because I copied my whole style theme folder over. I literally copied pretty much all the folders over, and then, but it'll either say I don't have the uh, the files, or it'll just crash completely, even when I use the part cleanup thing. Um, what was the opening door you used for Riptide? Riptide. Oh, bye, Normal Doge. Thank you for joining. Riptide. I'm trying to see. I got a little distracted. Riptide. I don't remember making a coaster called Riptide. Uh, yeah, I don't think I've made one called Riptide. I think I would probably remember that. One moment. Okay, guys. Well, I would love to keep this stream going, but real life is calling, and I have to go do some stuff. So, um, I will probably do another stream. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe the day after, or I don't know. Hopefully soon. So, thank you guys for joining me. Um, I enjoyed this time we had together quite a bit. It was pretty fun. Frank Elizondo? Elizondo? Frank Elizondo? Did I say that right? Okay, thank you. Uh, loud lim lim. Okay, well, I've got to end the stream now. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Um, I will see you guys later. Bye. How do I stop it? Now, here's the challenge. How do you stop a stream?